When we came to Dresden about 22 years ago, we saw in our church and in other churches that we knew of, the path of faithfulness was very, very important. Those people that were trustworthy got all the big jobs, the most important tasks. And a question no one could answer for me was, how long did one have to prove themselves trustworthy? How long did they have to be faithful until they actually got a job? 6 months, 2 years, 5 years, maybe 10 years. Or so when a person was young, how long would they have? This challenge to prove trustworthiness before one was actually appointed actually led to a lot of frustration, especially to young people. I'm of the opinion that we should do this very differently. My opinion is that we should first of all trust, and only when that trust is broken can we then speak about it. So that means when our trust is broken, then is the point where we say, sorry, I gave you trust, but now I can't trust you anymore. And when we have this attitude, it actually accelerates the whole process in such a way that we can truly build, and we can build faster. When people come into our churches, we can build faster with them. And what I've found is that so many people are absolutely trustworthy. There's no reason why we should think that they wouldn't be trustworthy with the various ministries. And it's interesting to see how David, in his leadership style, the way he led, he actually showed this. He was one who very quickly appointed. And we see he was in Ziklag back then, and leaders from other tribes came and they said to him, we want to follow you, David. And they came to him, and David very quickly found out what the motives of their hearts were. Are they trustworthy? Are they not faithful? Are they not? Are they for me? Are they against me? And then he appointed them. And in this, the way he did this so quickly, he took these warriors from other tribes. This impressed me. And we see in 1 Chronicles 12, verse 16, it says, and David went out to them and said to them, if you've come to me in peace to help me, let my heart be one with you. But if you've come to betray me to my enemies, and there's no iniquity in my hands, then let God of our fathers deal with you and punish you. David was saying, tell me what you want. Speak to me. And when he saw that they truly wanted to support him, they were not betrayers, then he appointed them. And that we can read in this passage. That quickly after that, these warriors, these soldiers got appointed. And my question to you is, how much time do you need before you appoint somebody? And for us as leaders, it's very important that we have trust, that we learn to trust others. Up to now, I've told about how others can trust us, but there's a moment where we need to trust others. It's very important. We must trust. And it's important that we allow that to grow in us, that the people that God brings to us, He sends them to us, and we have the task to appoint them as quickly as possible. And so some practical points. Number 1, ask the Lord to help you see through the motives very quickly. So what moves these people? How does it look in their hearts? Is there something that you can sense right in the beginning that you say there's a reason why I cannot appoint them, or why I shouldn't trust them? A good reason would be if someone comes to you and starts gossiping and criticizing their previous leadership in their previous church where they come from. That would be a red flag for me. I would say, well, I would not appoint this person. We had a talk with a couple that came some years ago. We knew that they had been very hurt in the previous church, but in the first talk that we had, they didn't say a single negative thing about their previous leadership. And straight away I knew these are people that I could shortly appoint, and they will never say anything negative about you. Secondly, be ready to take a risk. Okay, if you don't know someone for 5 or 10 years, it is a risk, but why not? Why not quickly bring things into being by giving them a chance? Let them take on a task. Number 3, use them where they have strengths and where they are motivated. And here's a very important point. Number 4, give them authority with the responsibility that you're handing to them. It's so easy to give someone a responsibility, but at decisions in their area, you don't give them authority to make decisions. You hold that authority, and this person never has that chance to make a decision. It's so important for us when we want people that we trust, if we want people that are happy under our leadership, that we give them that room to also make decisions, that they can blossom and grow. And they'll only be able to do this and have that feeling that we trust them when we also give them the authority to make decisions. I think it's also important. Number 5, we express confidence, that we show confidence and encouragement, that we show that we encourage them. It's important. Everyone needs this. Everyone needs recognition. And you know what? There will always be people who come to you that maybe do things better than you in certain areas. Be secure and praise them, even when you see they're doing things better than you. And note that they are actually making your team better the way they're working with you. And you can actually be very happy with that. Number 6, should they fail, show them a better way. Be honest, but give them another possibility, another chance. Number 7, give them opportunities that reward their reliability and loyalty. Many years ago, we had a young man in our church, and he had a task at a conference. And he had to prepare a booklet or a brochure for this conference. And in this booklet, there were some mistakes, and we had to reprint this whole brochure. And I remember clearly that for him it was a very important moment, and the big question was, how would we respond to this? Would it mean that he has no future with us anymore, or would it mean that he's learned his lesson, and although it cost us, but we're still counting on him? And the answer is, today he is one of those that are employed by us. And he'd learned his lesson, and we just saw it was a process. It was a learning process for him. We gave him that trust, and he responded with that trust. And when we do that, when we have that attitude with our whole team, with those that we're working, when we are expressing a security, we give them that security, they have that feeling, and when they have that feeling of security, when they know we're for them, we're not against them, they can try things, and then what we receive back is creativity and intensive getting involved in practical things. They give their hearts to even do more we can do more things, take risks, and in the areas where they are involved, they secure. And this genuineness, this authentic working together will take their fears away, where they have that, what will happen if I make a mistake? Your success as a leader will always be related to the ability to awake, inspire, and gain trust, but also to trust others. We know that in the early church, we saw what a success they had in the early church, where these new believers were actually appointed. It was a new early church. They had no big examples as such. They had to lead church. Paul took young people with him to be an example, and they are an example for us today. So a question I have for you. If you're leading, do you find it hard to trust someone? Write down names of people where you know you could actually take a risk with them in terms of leadership and responsibility. Do it right now. Take a pencil or a pen and write down some names of these people. Which workers should you also give more authority so that they can do their jobs better? That would be the second question. Which workers could you give more authority to so that they can carry out their jobs in a better way? If you want to grow as a leader, if you want your team to grow, then it can only happen through trust. You must trust others. You're not the best in every area. So you need to see that, and you need to see that you can't do everything. So it's important that I trust other people.